Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Daily Grind. How's everybody doing out there this morning? Great, I hope. I hope you have a fantastic morning, a fantastic day. Hey, I've heard this many times. Common sense is not a flower that grows in everyone's garden. I say, holy mackerel, ain't that the truth? But here's the deal with common sense. People are brought up differently. People live in different homes. They got different parents. Their brains are a little different. Everybody's brains are different. Everybody thinks just a little bit different. So how can there be such a thing as common sense? Somebody's brought up on another part of the world, totally don't have anything in common with us over here, do things totally different. Their food is different. Their culture is different. The way they act is different. The things they do, their work, their homes, their school, everything's different. How is it going to be common sense? There's nothing common about that. We don't even live the same. So if one person is brought up in a household that is abusive and they're abused all the time, their common sense is going to be about surviving and how not to get beat up mentally or physically. Somebody's brought up in a nice, loving, caring home. Well, their common sense might be more geared towards being a kind person, being considerate and helping others out. So it's totally different. So I'm not so sure that there is such a thing as common sense. We're all different. We all come from different places. That doesn't make anybody bad because they think differently than you. It just makes them think differently. They think with what they were taught and how they were brought up. Think about men and women. Brought up totally different. Totally different. So how can there be common sense? We're not even thinking the same. And think about this. How many times have you heard stories from people that were in the same place, saw the same thing, had the same experience, but when they talk about it, they saw something totally different because their mind processes things different. Your mind and my mind and somebody else's mind are all going to process the same thing a little bit different due to the way they were raised and the things they learned growing up. So, don't get so excited when somebody does something different and get all bent out of shape and say, well, they got no common sense. Hey, they're just a little bit different. Acceptance is the key. When I can accept the fact that somebody thinks a little bit different than me and they're going to do things a little bit different than me, then I don't get so worked up. People will do things that make sense to them, that make sense to the way they were brought up and the way they live and the way they understand this world. And we all understand it a little bit differently. Hey, I was talking to my sister a while back about my dad's funeral, which was 42 years ago. And I said to her, gee, sis, I don't remember any of our brothers or sisters being there. It's really strange. And she said, well, neither do I. And then I mentioned a few other things that happened there, and she says, well, I don't remember that. This is what I remember. And I didn't remember what she remembered. So you see, we were both in the same place at the same time, and we both had a different experience. And that's how it is with all people. Everybody has a little bit different experience about things. It's really strange. So get over the common sense thing. Stop complaining because somebody doesn't have what you call common sense because they just think differently than you. Accept people for who they are and how they are. And just say to yourself, well, isn't that interesting that that's how they understand life? For me, that makes it go a lot smoother. I hope you guys have a great day out there, and I'll see you tomorrow.